Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today join Mrs. G and I as we tour the campus of Michigan State University. And now it's time to find out what's up with Richard. Hey, look at this fellow. He must think I'm a nut. Ouch! Our adventure began at the International Building. We cut through the building, crossed the Red Cedar, there to the administration building. We visited the Beaumont Tower, there by the library, the music building, up there to some of the old residence halls. We visited Spartan statue. We finally found the Botanical Garden, back along the river again, across to Spartan Stadium, home of Michigan State football. And then we cut west to the Munn Ice Arena, where they play hockey, and the Breslin Center, where Michigan State University basketball does their thing. We walked along Shaw Avenue, past the football practice buildings and fields, and some of the newer dorms, and back to the International Center. Here we're in the International Center before we take off. The rapids here on campus at the Red Cedar River. A lot of walking on campus, a lot of walkways. This was the museum. Unfortunately, it was closed that day. Behind the museum, Mrs. G, all bundled up because it was chilly, admiring some of the beautiful bushes here on campus. It was late April, so not much was growing. Here we are at the Beaumont Tower. It was built in the old collegiate Gothic style, and it stands at the site of the old College Hall, first building built on the Michigan State College, now Michigan State University campus, and first devoted entirely to the teaching of scientific agriculture. Its carillon contains 49 bells and is capable of playing the full range of literature composed for the instrument. And now the library. As we continued our walk, that's the music building, Mrs. G says, "I want to sit on a tree." I had no clue what she meant until I saw this. There she is. I think she found it a little bit unsteady. Yeah, you better grab onto something. There you go. Made for a nice picture for the family album. That's Adams Field. That's where the Michigan State University band practices for football game performances. And that's the IM Circle Sports Building. That's an intramural building, by the way. I love the architecture of the buildings in the older part of campus. This is Yackley Hall. Beautiful architecture on some of the older dormitories. Much different than where I lived. Ours were built in the 1960s. I'll give you an example later in the video. Oh yeah, that was familiar. Over in this area was the baseball field, soccer field, softball field for varsity sports here. And finally, we make it to the Spartan. Yeah, in 1943, Michigan State University art professor Leonard Youngworth designed a statue for the university cast in terracotta. Because of World War II rationing, it was dedicated in 1945. Now I call this fake Sparty because in 2005, a bronze replica replaced the original here and now graces its plaza. The original terracotta statue is protected indoors, away from the harsh Michigan elements, including some wily wolverines. We'll see the real Sparty in just a little bit. Hey, we finally made it to the W.J. Beal Botanical Gardens. It's a 5-acre botanical garden here on campus. It's also claimed to be, at 150 years, the oldest continually maintained university botanical garden in the United States. And it's open year-round during daylight hours without charge. This little fellow was enjoying a spring day in the garden. All of the flowers, plants in the garden are individually labeled with common names, Latin names, and also a description of each one of the flowers. There were a few in bloom. I thought this one was pretty cool. A gazebo. Yep, guess what? Off we go. We'll get a panoramic view of the garden from up there. Mrs. G all bundled up. It was chilly. In fact, when we got here, it was actually spitting a little bit of snow at us. Wow, this is a gate. Look at the intricate design of that gate. That's just awesome. Mrs. G trying to stay warm. I'll take a video, a panoramic video of the Beal Botanical Gardens. Really have to come back in June when things are in bloom. Maybe later this summer. Part of the alma mater goes, beneath the pines we'll gather, we'll give our faith so true, sing our love for alma mater, thy praise is MSU. Guess what? That's one of those pines. And now we're leaving the garden and we are heading back across the river to Spartan Stadium. Get one last look at the garden, some of the trees that are just starting to get their leaves here in late April. Back through the gate on the other side. For the life of me, I can't remember what that building is on the left. I'm going to have to look that one up. When I was going to school here, I very seldom was on this side of campus. That was how I got to this side of campus, though. I did have a bicycle. And a final look here at the Red Cedar River. A little bit different view of the rapids. Here we're at Spartan Stadium. And here is the real original Sparty that was on the corner there when I was at school. All nice and protected from the elements, including those wolverines. So we played some intramural football and intramural softball on Munn Field here. This is the hockey arena, Munn Hockey Arena. The doors were open. Behind those glass windows is a lot of weightlifting equipment, and some of the hockey players were lifting weights. I didn't quite have the guts to go to the open door and peek in. Yeah, this is all relatively new. Just a little peek inside, some stairs going down, and Mrs. G was just saying, yeah, there was a calendar of events in there, so. Now we're heading over to the Breslin Center. Oh, there's Gruff. That would be the old type mascot, and there's the new one. And of course, you can tell they play basketball here at the Breslin Student Event Center, which was opened in 1989, holding 16,280 patrons. And here is the Magic Johnson statue. This statue commemorates not only his national championship here at Michigan State, but his career in the NBA and all of his charitable contributions in East Lansing as well. It's interesting, he never played in this big beautiful building here. He played in the old field house, which we didn't see today. Might have to go back there next time. There's Mrs. G patiently waiting for me to get my camera set so that we could have this very nice photo taken. Yeah, in the background there, I think that's Wilson Hall. And as you can see, the architecture much different than Yackley Hall that we saw earlier. These were built, I believe, in the 1960s. We're on the other side of Munn Field now, and there is the stadium. At least the fancy part of the stadium. The fire department there's on the right. That is Case Hall. I remember that because my former girlfriend lived there. In fact, the last time I ever saw her was when we were walking right along there. She was on the other side of the street, heading back to her dorm, and I was heading towards Harrison for some reason. I'd have no clue why I would be up here in this area. Anyway, it's a long story, but thanks to her, I met Mrs. G. And lo and behold, this is where we met up with our little friend. Football practice fields right there. Mrs. G's always getting ahead of me for some reason. I think she was cold and wanted to get back to the car in the International Center. There he is. Ouch!